the Great Harmony Sentinel Khorne and Kislev mod spotlight. We will be checking out every single unit in this mod. We're going to be looking at the stats, talking about the look, and of course showing off some combat. Don't forget to slay the subscribe and like button, and we can chat down in the comments. Starting off strong with Khorne, we have a variant of the Exalted Bloodletters, and I've got to say, they look great. The black and gold armor on them, the way it's designed, phenomenal looking. I do like that they have a banner leader style unit that kind of just stands out a little from the rest. I love unit mods that do that because it makes sense. No unit's not going to run with at least one guy that's kind of the head leader. Great stats. These guys did phenomenal in combat, as you're about to see. Super loved this unit in Khorne. Moving on, we're now at a ranged unit here. This is a missile infantry unit, but what they actually do is they throw bombs that, as you can see, look like skulls, which I kind of like the idea behind that. Overall, I like these. You know, I think it adds a little bit more flavor to Khorne, gives you more options for ranged, a little bit more ranged firepower, because Khorne doesn't have any. I know some of you are going to be like, Khorne doesn't use ranged units, but I think this fits in, especially with the little skull. Also, this unit is not overpowered at all, really. It kind of fits. If Khorne units were going to use a firearm, I think this would be the most likely version, as it's a gun axe. So you have literally a rifle with an axe combined, and it makes the most sense because that way you're still maintaining your melee, and it really fits in to me with the faction. So if Khorne did adopt this, this would be their #1 option. Overall, really like this unit. Good range, good damage, good stats, and I would run this in all of my Khorne campaigns. And I do like the look of it too with the helmets. I'm going to be honest, I've never really been a fan of giants. Most design giants I just do not like and enjoy. I really like this one. The weapon is phenomenal looking. The banner up top where it shows the Khorne emblem, I think that's awesome, that sign. Like, I mean, like it's great. I would literally throw this in just for thematics, at least 1 or 2 of these in my armies. Really enjoyed this unit. Big fan, and it looks great. This is one of my favorite monster units in this mod. He does fantastic work. He tore through infantry units. He's good against infantry, and he's good against armor, I believe, and he has a little bit of magical attack with him. His weapon strength is insanely high. He just destroys everything. He might be a little overpowered, you know, but at the same time, if you're pacing yourself, only running 1 of these in your army, maybe not abusing it, I think it'd be really fun to have.
They feel our lashes. Riding down the mental fields.
This might be the best designed dragon that I have ever seen in a mod. It's super over the top, and just everything about it is super masculine, super aggressive, and I just love it. And also, if you see up top, I do kind of hate, this is the regular monster version, and there is a chair up top. I do feel like they should take that off, have it as a regular monster version, and on top of this, they obviously are building this to be a mount. I want to see who they're going to put this with for a mount. Man, it just looks phenomenal. We've got a variant of a Bloodthirster here, and I've got to say I actually really like it because of the secondary weapon, the Chain Whip. The Chain Whip, at first I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't really fit Khorne. It's more of a Slaanesh thing, but the Chain Whip actually does, in my opinion. The way it looks in combat, I could just see, you know, this being a unit ran. Like, I really, really did enjoy this unit, and it's really powerful unit. Probably overpowered, good against infantry, good against armor. It's just fantastic. It's translated, yay. So there's very rare of these that are actually translated, but this is the Rage Beast Monstrosity artillery piece. As you can see here, it's a bipedal walking robot of war. Definitely gives you Warhammer 40k vibes. I love its like big chainsaw weapon on the right, or its right, the cannon on the left, which is actually the flamethrower, and then the big horn up top. Overall, great aesthetics. It looks phenomenal, and it does so good in combat, guys. Definitely recommend running this unit. The bonus Slaanesh version, as this is the only Slaanesh unit in this mod, the Lustmire Monstrosity. You still have that same kind of chainsaw-ish looking blades that are, you know, Slaanesh in design, the circular saws. Then on top of that, that's actually a cannon as well, and then you also have a giant shield. Overall, really like the design of this unit, and it looks good in combat. And then next, we're going to be showing off the Tzeentch version as well. But huge fan of this. I wish there was more units. We're now at the bonus Tzeentch unit here, the Deceitful Monstrosity. He is the only unit for Tzeentch in this entire mod. He's an artillery monster. I don't believe, it's kind of weird, I think he's actually more focused on maybe single entity monsters, in my opinion, versus compared to just fighting infantry. But he does have armor piercing. But overall, big fan of the unit, big fan of the design. Obviously, Warhammer 40k is a big reference point for this, it feels like. But huge fan, and you're about to see some combat now.
Claim their souls for Slaanesh!
I think Chaos was really strong, but I feel like now that we're at Kislev might actually be more of the star of the show. I feel like on this mod, there are more units here. We have a pistol and great mace infantry here, and I've got to say, this is probably one of my favorite units. The pistol did really good work in combat, and on top of that, I do like the weapons on their back. There are two different designs on them. One's more like a Godal or a glaive, and the other one's a double-sided polearm. But overall, they did fantastic in combat. This unit here is kind of labeled wrong. It says pistol and axe infantry, but really it doesn't have a pistol. It actually throws little bombs. So it's going to be similar to the Khorne unit we saw earlier. And I will say this, having the great axe, you know, the axe infantry part of it, they do melee attack. It seems like kind of slow. I mean, they're okay. I wasn't a big fan as this unit compared to the first, but they still look really, really good. We're now at the gun great axe infantry, and I actually did like this because I like the idea of using the axe to prop up your rifle for better stability for firing at range. I do like that idea kind of behind it. I think it's kind of unique. They do look really good in combat, in my opinion, and overall, it just gives them another firearm unit, so big fan. I like the black and gold look of these guys, and it really adds a more dark nature to Kislev's faction, and I'm just more like a different style of elite unit. There's always one unit in every mod that kind of sparks my interest, surprisingly, and this is it, the Mooses. Canada would be very proud of this moment. But yeah, these guys look phenomenal. Like, I've got to give it credit. They look like a moose, and they look really, really good, and there's more moose cavalry units incoming. Big fan of this, and I would actually run just the basic version early on in combat. They have really good stats, and their charge was pretty good. As we continue on with the Moose Cavalry here, we have the version with the soldier on the back, and they do have a polearm weapon. This is not the top tier version. There is one more coming up, but I've got to say it looks good. You've armored them up, you've put some horns on the top of the nose, and it looks phenomenal. Like, this looks good. You've got some designs on the side. I can tell they put a lot of detail work into this. Charge bonus went up 5 points. Overall, this is just a fantastic cavalry unit for Kislev, and I feel like it really fits in. Of course, it's Kislev. You've got to add more bears. It's just how it works out. As DASSBEAR, I'm a big fan. You see here, we have this bear unit with the bow units up top. I do like this a lot because it gives some variety. You can do some ranged fire and then send these into the melee. So I do like the idea on it, and it gives them something to do while you're waiting for that really glorious flank, which I know you're going to pull off in all your campaigns. So yeah, big fan of this. We're now at that top tier Moose Cavalry, and as you're going to see, you've got the ice antlers up top. Everything's golden out and white. Even the glaives on these guys, their pole arms, have that white glow to them. They're all decked out in gold. The hussars, they just look phenomenal, guys. Their charge bonus went up again, so now you're at 80 charge bonus. These guys are going to rip through units. I actually, when I tried to shoot combat for them, I didn't even get to see melee because they just charged through and obliterated the enemy. Sticking with that top tier cavalry, we move over to the Bear Cab, which is a similar design as the last one you just seen, except for we're going to be the gold, the ice on those front little stabbing antlers, and then obviously the guy up top has their polearm as well, glowing with the ice. They look phenomenal in combat. These are just more of an elite tier unit, and they're really good in combat, guys. Their charge bonus isn't as high, but man, in melee, they do so well. Fully recommend this.
Sing the bloodlust!
With the flying units, I was less of a fan of in this mod, but it probably is because I just don't utilize flying units as much as other people. This one here, which I think is actually the tier 2 version, not the tier 1. You have bow pretty much people up top, so it has some range fire on it, and then you can still enter in melee. I was less of a fan of this. I wouldn't see myself running this, but if you're a very micro heavy person, you might really enjoy running this unit to harass enemies. And now we have the flying unit here, based off the last one, just with no person mounted on it. And this would be one I would definitely not run, in my opinion. They are really fast. I'm just not big on microing, and I mean, maybe if you put these in the back and they're attacking an archer unit, you know, maybe you could find use for them. I just feel like that on my limited slot army, I could pick a better option than this unit. So not a huge fan of this. I know you big monster lovers are going to like this one, the Mistwalker Monstrous Cavalry. If you're a fan of big cats, this is a big cat. So we've got a cat with wings on it, and they have a person up top. I like the design on these. I like the wrappings, the kind of harness. They look really good in my opinion. I don't know if I would run them a lot, but I could see it being pretty useful in combat. They can fly, get behind the enemy, and their speed's really good. 95 is really good for this unit for the size. So pretty good, pretty okay fan of this. We're now getting into the large bear units. Please let me know down in the comments which of these large bears is your favorite, because I was super torn on these. Sorry for the pluses on the stat card. This one here does lightning-ish damage. You're going to see some special effects when it brings up the ground, like axes. Overall, I really did like this unit a lot. It's not my favorite, I think, but it's up there. I definitely like it more than the regular ice and the green one coming up. We're now at the green one here, which is more of the nature. I do like the statue up top, kind of like it's being overgrown, like a totem. So I do like the design behind all of these. They have a very, I guess, reason for the existing kind of design. So I do like it. Again, this is more of nature bound. You're going to see some trees branch up in one of its special attacks. It has the breath of early spring. I like this one. It's not my favorite. I do like it more than the regular ice version, so it is above the regular version. If I had to pick a favorite, this would probably be my pick. It's the fire version of it. You have the Lament of Late Autumn Breath. It does fire breath. It has a great special attack thing where like blades will shoot up from the ground. They're kind of like a red blackish. It just looks phenomenal in combat. I just really love the design on it, and it just looks good. I would definitely run this, and I like it more than the regular ice version of the bear. But who knows? What's your favorite? Let me know down in the comments what your favorite is. This is their version of the Ice Elemental Bear, and as you can see, it has a palace up top with a cannon into it, and you have some firearm units up there as well. So you kind of get a combination of it attacking. You've got some cannon fire, some firearms going off. Overall, I like the idea behind it. Kind of reminds me of like a mammoth kind of just, setup. But overall, really, really good. I do like this version. It's just not my favorite. I like the other ones a little bit more because it's just a different element, and you're going to see this as a mount too. Here we have the one of the two legendary lords, Constantine. He gets a mount for this, as you can see him up top. So it's exactly the same. The only difference is he's the lord unit on it, and this is his mount, and it looks really good. I like adding a super massive, like, strong mount to these lords, and it just kind of makes sense. So yeah, you're going to see one more coming up, and because of that, I showed them in combined combat at the end to kind of make sense, but there is one more. And the other legendary lord is Boris Urson, who gets the same mount. And again, he's a Czar of Czars. It just kind of makes sense that he would get this super massive, powerful mount. I really do like it. And maybe you don't. Maybe you like to see your lords more engaged directly in combat. But I would definitely run this, in my opinion. I was requested by Immortals Empire's King to put these against some ogres or have some ogre combat. So these guys will be fighting some ogres here in just a minute to show that off. And overall, big fan.
Where are you going? Tron running scared!
I just want to say a big thank you for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, guys. We're going to have more of these mods coming soon to Spotlight. I will catch everyone in the next video. Thank you, guys.